Hey, Iceman here. We had snow today, and what better game to play when there's snow outside than Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero? Now, you've seen me play through levels 1 through 7 already. This is the final level. This is Shinnok's Fortress. Starting off, I was having some issues. Taking more damage than I care to at this point. The stage is very, very large. It's very maze-like. There are 5 bosses in total. You have to fight Quan Chi's 3 female assassins before taking on Quan Chi himself and then Shinnok for the final battle. There's also a, not necessarily an alternate ending, but there is an alternate way to beat the final boss, Shinnok. Here you see me going up against Kia, the first of Quan Chi's female assassins. Yeah, there's an alternate way. There is an actual way of beating Shinnok. Normally, you would just run from him and escape into a portal. There is a way of beating Shinnok, and if you're able to, you actually unlock like a blooper video, gag reel from some of the cutscenes, and it's hilarious. I've seen it online, but I've never. I don't believe I've ever done, to where you can watch the blooper reel, because I always had the N64 version. And I don't believe the N64 version has that. Well, of course, it doesn't have the video, but it doesn't even have like pictures or anything, which makes sense. So this run is not perfect. I did manage to get through, but as you see, I'm taking a lot of damage, and occasionally I hit the start button, I hit the pause button accidentally. For whatever reason through this playthrough, I use the same controller I've been playing through the levels 1 through 7. But for whatever reason, the pause button, I kept hitting it with my finger. And here in this instance, I wanted to go to the menu to get to my items, and I was hitting the pause button accidentally there. So there's a few moments where, if you see it pause randomly, I'm probably hitting it with my finger. Now there's parts where I run through the level because I know where I'm at and what's there. Just familiarity with the game. And then there's moments later on where I try to become more cautious and try to... I'm more aware of my health situation. You'll see me walking, which I was trying to keep this under 16 minutes. I don't think I was able to, because there was points where I'm being safe and I'm walking, so probably didn't reach my goal time. But I still think I did fairly well. Very, very difficult game all around. So just the fact that I was able to beat it, period, that I feel fine about that. I believe this is the default difficulty level, normal. Actually, if you have the game on easy or very easy, you're not even... It won't let you play the last 2 levels, which is kind of funny. There's nothing... I don't believe there's anything that really tells you that. Right here, see, it doesn't tell you that in the manual about the difficulty level setting. I don't think. It might. I haven't actually looked at the manual in some time. But that moment where I paused on the elevator I was actually looking at a map that I had made years ago from one of my first playthroughs. Well, not one of my first playthroughs, but one of my first playthroughs of the PlayStation version, I think. And I had recorded bits and pieces of it, and I had made a map from that. Okay, so we fought Kia earlier. This is Serena. Serena is one of my favorite MK characters. She's only in 3 games, unfortunately. She was planned to be in Mortal Kombat 4. They replaced her, or didn't really replace her, but they decided against it at the last second. And I think they put in Fujin, which Fujin is an okay character. He's an alright character, but I would have much rather seen Serena. At this point in the game, you can do a fatality on Serena. You can rip her head off, just like we did with Scorpion in the first level. But if you do, it's not to your benefit, and it actually it hurts you and makes the game harder. I mean, a little bit. It's not much of a big thing, but basically when you're fighting Quan Chi and you get his health down, when you have him about 90% down, Serena will make another appearance. So it's to your benefit to leave her alive, and since I'm a fan of her character anyway, the more Serena, the better. She is playable. Well, she's in this game as a boss. She is playable in Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition for the Game Boy Advance, I believe, and she's also in Mortal Kombat Armageddon for PS2 and original Xbox and Wii, of course. I was really hoping she shows up in the Mortal Kombat X story mode. I was actually hoping that they would turn her into a DLC character, but that didn't happen. Maybe with Mortal Kombat 11. So are they going to call it? You know, if they follow with X, is it going to be Mortal Kombat XI? Or Mortal Kombat 11? Or are they going to give it another subtitle? Like, what are they going to do with that? The Mortal Kombat XL, you know, when they added the expansion and the extra characters and then repackaged it, you know, instead of calling it like MKX Complete when they called it MKXL, I thought it was genius, but at the same time, bad branding. Like, I don't know. It made sense, but it didn't sound right to me. So, in any of my guides that you see online, usually I just keep the Mortal Kombat X name. I don't put the XL, but my Mortal Kombat X guides are compatible with XL. So now we're fighting. I believe it's pronounced Jataka. I don't think they say her name in any in-game speech. But she is the last of Quan Chi's female assassins. I wish we'd seen more of them. They look like they just came out of like some kind of like bondage club or something. The real tight leather, real interesting characters. I wish we'd seen more of them. If I'm so now, my health is pretty low again. I think I'm going for another health pickup. To the best of my knowledge, there's 5 health drops in this level. And I actually started off with none. And so, when I get to Quan Chi, I don't have any health items to help me, so I kind of screwed myself there. It happens. Now, you can tell by the design on the walls which floor you're at. Each floor has a different design to it. Otherwise, you'd have no idea, you know, where you're at. It's really easy to get lost. Really easy to get lost in this game. So the crystals that the assassins drop, we are activating them at the highest point, the highest points in this area. In Quan Chi's fortress, that's the name I was looking for. And once you activate all 3, you're teleported to Quan Chi's lair. There's no certain order that you have to beat the female assassins, and there's no order that you have to activate the crystals. But the order that I took was the most logical path to take, as far as I'm concerned. It's the shortest route that you have to take. To the best of my knowledge, I could be wrong. See, right here, I'm not running because I'm getting a little anxious. I'm getting really far. A lot of these levels, I have to play them, you know, a lot to memorize everything and get the pattern down. So if, you know, towards the later part of the game, of the playthrough, I start to get kind of nervous. Be like, am I remembering this correctly? It's very maze-like. This should be final key. All the previous 2 keys combined. Get this cheap little animation. The look on Quan Chi's face when he pops up here in a minute is just, to me, it's hilarious. Right here, although it's still kind of funny. This face that he gives Sub-Zero. Welcome to my home, Sub-Zero. And then I don't know. He has this creepy come hither look on his face, and it's just unsettling.
I was busy. Don't you realize why Raiden sent you? The Netherrealm is a place for evil beings. You cannot exist here.
Stick around after the credits,
You belong here.
and you'll see a behind-the-scenes video, the bloopers video. You'll see how much of this is green screen. The chair, I don't know if I mentioned the chair before. It was designed by the same guy that made the Alien series, that designed the aliens. So here we are up against Quan Chi, and I had some slight problems in this match. For whatever reason, when Fraps was activated, this stage just didn't want to. It just had some slowdown on the stage. I checked everything. I turned off everything that I didn't need in the background, and still, my good computer, I'm gonna get it fixed sometime, hopefully in the next month or so. So if I'm still doing videos, it'll turn out a lot better. Serena returns and finishes off Quan Chi. Hey there. What's going on?
Why did you hurt me?
We're still immortal.
Now they have this moment.
There won't be anywhere to go if I don't get the
I always wish they'd elaborated more on this.
I've waited an eternity to escape.
They had a good potential romance type storyline there, and even though Serena is technically not human, she's a demon who has taken human form. I don't know. Just the character is very interesting, and I wish they would have done more with her. So now, this is the final boss fight, quote unquote. I don't know if you can actually call it a fight. I had some problems with timing here. So Shinnok has a shield that you cannot pass or penetrate. And your only available action is to freeze him, run behind him, and grab his amulet off of his neck. And then, after seeing him turn into that big hulking monster, your best bet is to turn around and run into the portal. Now you are able to fight him, but I believe there's only one real way to beat him, which I'll show that.
That's it? Not even a thank you?
Thank yourself for undoing a problem that you created.
Quan Chi told me that you sent me because my soul was tainted with evil. Is that true?
You are a superb warrior, Sub-Zero. Only you can control your destiny. Not even the gods can alter your chosen path in life.
Was that a yes? Or a no?
Yeah, the acting is bad.
Yes. But only you.
But if you look at the outfits are pretty well done. When, if you compare them to the MK movie, pretty well done. Sub-Zero's his ninja garb is kind of wide in this, and it's very thin. They could have used a thicker material, but for the most part it looks pretty awesome. And there's an appearance by Shang Tsung and foreshadowing of Sub-Zero joining the Mortal Kombat tournament, which contradicts his MK1 bio stating that he was hired by some of Shang Tsung's enemies to assassinate Shang Tsung. And here, this video, which is supposed to be a prequel to the original Mortal Kombat, it shows Shang Tsung hiring him. One of the few things that doesn't make sense about the Mortal Kombat canon. I always I tried to think of this in my head when I was thinking about how everything fits together. I always imagined that Shang Tsung hired Sub-Zero to appear in the MK tournament to maybe be on his side, and then when the Lin Kuei figured out, like, hey, Shang Tsung's kind of a kind of a jerk, and it's like he wants Shao Kahn to take over. Then they would realize, okay, well, if Shao Kahn takes over Earth, then he's going to have control over us. So they have an interest to stop this from happening. I would imagine. Of course, in the Mortal Kombat remake, the Lin Kuei are under Shang Tsung's, I don't want to say control, but they're under his allegiance, at least for the time. So there's stuff that I think they need to fix, because some stuff that needs to be either elaborated on or changed. I don't see the Lin Kuei allying with Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. It just doesn't make sense, unless they promised them some kind of power or something, like oh, we'll give you control over this area or whatever. But who knows? Who knows? So yeah, credits rolling. I want to take this time now to thank everybody that has watched my videos up to this point. Such a simple thing to sit and watch, but the actual recording process it's insane. You wouldn't believe the amount of time that goes into this, trying to get it right. I'm sure there's people that can do it 100 times better and maybe 10 times faster, but game over. So now, as a bonus video, I'm going to show you the quote-unquote alternate ending, the alternate way of defeating Demon Shinnok and getting the extra cutscene. I seem to do a bit better here. I get thrown into the portal like, oh, I was going there anyway. So there's a code that you input to give you a full assortment of these urns, which refill your health and ice ability. And then you use this special move that you get very late in the game, forward, back, high punch. I never use it because it uses so much ice ability. But you use it until it knocks Shinnok off of the pit. Oh, okay.
I heard things. I heard things. You are reality's only hope.
I'll do it, Thunder God. Only because I don't... You don't understand. I can't leave without the...
You see, Sub-Zero. Your grand trust is also sometimes. Hold on, you just got me now.
Immortal, with the ability to freeze.
I forgot my line.
You suck. Immortal, I mean a keeper. Sir, Immortal has escaped from the... Sir, Immortal has escaped from the prison of souls. He is headed towards the gates of immortality.
It's okay.
Sir! I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't say. We have toyed with the ninja long. Do not question. No, forget it. We have toyed with the ninja long enough. Do not fail me. You and I. You, me, everybody in the room. Oh, you want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers?
And that was Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Again, I thank everybody for watching. And I might have some more videos coming out in the future, so stay tuned.